G'day guys, just doing a little bit of basing on my Greek cav at the moment. Um, you will have noticed if you follow me that I actually haven't been on for a few weeks now. At my son's wedding, which all went really well. He's married, which is always a positive when you have a wedding. And then I had issues with my internet. I lost it for like 3.5 days, and it's just been really busy. I mean, even today I was hoping to paint. What time I was hoping to paint? Probably about 12:30, and I didn't get on to. It was about nearly 2:30, so I went on to Rocky's war room, had a bit of a chat there. It's 4:49 here. I've been working on today this afternoon. I've been working on not mine, on the Swedish Northern Wars. There's 32 of them almost done. Also been doing test figures for the Lippy, the Confederation of the Rhine Lippy troops. So the idea is to, if I can put it on there and get it in the box. So the idea is to have a slightly off white. So I've used ivory for the main white there, and then do the belts a brighter. I wonder if I can just lift it up a couple. You might be able to see that the. Well, let's try it darker. See if it brings the belts up. Okay, so you can kind of see that the belts are whiter. So I've got sky grey underneath the belts. I've used ivory, and then I've done a sepia wash, and then I've used ivory again over top of that. So yeah. So there's going to do a few different pants. I've done one in the grey, and I've started one. I've done the first coat of a. Excuse me, I just stuck my brush on my tongue for some stupid reason. A dark brown. Excuse me, it's out of focus, but we'll just take all those and put those back and zoom the camera back out. So, and then we will turn the autofocus off in a second. I find the autofocus is just a right. Don't forget it. There. Yeah, so the idea is that you've probably already seen my post last week, but this is what we're after. Yeah. And last night I did my first base of infantry. So I decided to do them all on one big base. So that's just how I've decided to do it, and actually really happy with the way they come out. I done the edge of the base, so the spears are protected a little bit, and I just wanted a bit of room around them, so I could actually make the base look a bit kind of, I was going to say cooler, a bit nicer. So these are the ones where I've hand painted all the shields. They at this stage are going to be the last ones that I hand paint. I've bought all the shields for them. So and I've just about finished the next set for the next base. So yeah, come along quite nicely, I reckon. So let me know what you think. Actually, I'm going to do a video on them anyway, so you can let me know on that. We'll chuck that one out, and we'll get the next base in. So I've just they're set into polyfiller, and then I've pressed sand and a medium rock and a small kind of rock into them. So it's like three different scales of basing onto it, and I've kind of blackened them in, and then I've put like a wash of PVA glue over them as well, just so we don't lose too much of the material while I'm painting. So I know a lot of you guys, I've heard people say, like, they don't use the good paints to paint the base, but I must admit I do. It's probably an expensive way to do it. I should probably go down to the local hardware store and get them to match the paints. I like the consistency of it, and I like the fact that my bases end up with the same kind of paint finish as my miniatures. And I put a lot of time into the miniatures, so I must admit, because I haven't really got a heck of a lot of basing materials and stuff, so part of me's starting to think that it's time to do a bit more work on my basing and making it look cool. Maybe put some streams and just all kinds of things into the actual base. As I was going to say, I put time into the miniatures, so that I might as well make the painting look good. But it's not. I think it's not just about the painting; it's about the setup of the actual base. What's going on the base. So, yeah, a few thoughts going through my head about how I'm going to start changing my basing, but of course, it all costs money when you buy extra stuff. So I haven't had a lot of grasses and stuff for a long time. I've just pretty much done the basic static grass, even for my work that I do. I leave all the extras up to the people that get the miniatures, and I've just kind of run out of a lot of stuff. So. Here's the hand. So with these guys, I'm just doing a Citadel Rhinox hide dry brush, well, heavy dry brush, and then I'm doing English uniform over top of that, and yeah, that's about it. I've got spring grass. I'm putting on the bases and some parts, and then I've got like it's almost like a foamy kind of flock mix that I've had for years sitting around. I've hardly ever used it. It was the stuff that I thought, well, I hated it. It really annoyed me. But rather than putting it all over the base, I found that putting it on the base in little blobs and patches, it just breaks up you can almost say the monotony of just static grass. In there, because it's it's all kind of blobbed up, and that I might just make that kind of like a little bit of a muddy area. You could almost make that right in there into a little puddle, but being that I don't know quite how to do that yet, I might just leave that for another time. Yeah, really have enjoyed painting Greek so far, both the cavalry and the infantry, the foot. I have a lot to go, but slow and steady, slow and steady. At the moment on the painting desk, I've got rebasing that I'm doing of about 25 French infantry. So they're all based and they're onto their almost what I'm doing here on those. I've got the 32 Lippy and the 32 Swedes, and so that's actually what's on the table. I've started some sci-fi figures, so some of them are undercoated, sorry, not underbased, and some of them have actually, I've actually, done a bit more on. I don't really expect anyone to be hopping on at this stage. This is more just for guys probably hop on later, and they might just play it while they're doing a bit of work. It's just that at this time of night, most of the people that view my videos are probably asleep or maybe out in the town. You just never know. So yeah, so that's the first coat of that done. Not a heck of a lot to it, but you can see all the texture in the base by using the different stuff. Hey, Rocky, how's it going? Apologies. Apologies for what? I may just hop back on. No apologies needed, mate. I had to get the washing in. That is actually why I left. I didn't leave because it got a bit vocal. Hey, a good vocal discussion's good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all these troops, and I can already see, like on here, I'm missing a bit in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the autofocus on, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer. Hopefully we'll be right there. So some of them I'm going to have to paint the first blue, and some of them onto the second blue. So we're just going to quickly put them in, just double check them all. There's another one which hasn't had anything. Don't know what it is about that part of the uniform, but I was just looking back thinking, hey, I have missed a few. Now, I think there's one set of leggings I need to do. There's another one. No matter what you do, when you're painting, it's always good when you're finished or getting near the end to go over and just double check that everything is actually being done. Yeah, so as I said, 32 of these to do in total. I know that there's one set of leggings that on one of these guys somewhere that I completely missed. I think I was going to do them, yeah, see that one there. I'm going to tidy that up, I think. So I'll put him over there as well. There's nothing worse than thinking you're done. That one just needs a wee touch up. Needs a bit of black, but we're not doing black, we're doing blue. Yeah, this one here. I haven't done his. Oh, they're all very blurry. Sorry about that. This one here hasn't had the leggings done. The majority looks very good so far. Yeah, there's a few to do. Oh, that one that's missing a little bit of yellow right on the end. I missed it, so I'll put it aside. You have the yellow done. Most of them are missing the that needs something done. I'm missing that second lot of blue. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the darker blue, obviously, because once that's dried, let's actually put a figure in there. Okay. And I can finish them off. Not too sharp, is it? Okay. So just using Prussian blue as the base coat on this. Use Prussian blue for a few of my blues is the base coat. So it's just the back of his leg. Alright, there. So the time is 5:04 and I've actually got another 4 hours of painting that I can do today. I've been out here for 3 hours at this point. I was hoping to be out here a lot earlier today. Went over to my parents' house and their TV had died. And they were getting a guy out to have a look and see whether it was sky or not. But I could quickly tell that it was actually nothing to do with the sky. It was actually the TV. And I don't know about where you are, but where I am, I don't fix anything anymore. So if the TV's no good, it's pretty much stuff. And the TV's like 8 years old. So I came home and picked up my slightly older LED TV and put it on over. Gave them mine. So better off being used. Need a second TV. Not really much watching for my TV as it is. Even though I just found a new use for my TV just the other day. I was learning a song and trying to see it on my iPad, and I thought to myself, wait a second, I can bring that up on the TV. And so I was learning a song while watching the TV because the chords and everything were on it. And it was really handy. So there's a band that goes in between these, so you might better see it across there. So I'll repaint all those black, and then I'll put like dark grey on it, dark German grey, I think it's called, on there. Just a little bit here. I painted these the same figures quite a few years back for a friend, and so the idea with these is that I'm trying to paint them the same as the original figures, which is actually really hard because not only have some of the paints changed that that I used, like some of the Citadel colours, well, they're not the same anymore. They don't paint up the same colour. I paint a bit different now than I used to back then. So I've actually been finding it a little bit of a struggle to get them to look the same. We'll get there in the end. Not bad blue figures to paint though. Yes, I've spent most of my time on these this afternoon. Right, so what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to put a wash over the gold. So I'm using Agrex Earthshade to do that. And so just a little bit here and everywhere. Sharpen that up a little bit. I'm just not quite sure whether it would look better with it or brighten up a little. We'll try it there. Anyway, so I'm just wash all the gold. Let someone pop on for a couple of seconds and then decide, nah. So all buttons and things on this are actually in a silvery colour. So at this stage, I've put like a gunmetal over it. So normally I would do another couple of layers and maybe a wash over it. But as I said, I'm trying to get these to look like I did last time. I didn't do the washes on things back then. I don't even think I did this wash, but I don't really want to not do this wash because it just brings the gold out. I mean, if you put too much on, you just suck it back out with your brush, which is quite cute. So you've got a lot of work coming up. And getting the hankering for starting my Russians. I really need to actually get some more of them, but I don't really want to buy. I don't really want to buy them new. So if you're in New Zealand and you watch my videos, and you've got not front rank, sorry, foundry Russians that you don't want, I'm on the hunt, especially for like heavy cav and dragoons, maybe some more Cossacks, just to kind of flesh out the army a bit. I could probably even do with a few more infantry, but gee, you can personal message me or email me. People email me. I don't know how I get my emails, but they do. Even leave a comment and I can get back to you. It's probably too expensive for any of you guys overseas, so yeah, been looking for front rank French and foundry Russians are the two things that I'm trying to build up at the moment. Just don't really want to pay the new miniature prices at this stage. If I have to, I might just have to. Just see. I think surely there'll be some people out there that have got a few extra miniatures lying around. I mean, all these little extra things that you do, it's just worth it. You know, if you normally do like two layers of paint on your miniatures, like different colours, I encourage you to have a go at 3. Doing 3, it's amazing the difference between just 2 and 3. 2's cool, but 3 make things pop. 2, you look at them and you go, oh, it just doesn't seem to work. It hasn't come out quite right. When you put that 3rd layer of depth in, that's when figures really just start to pop and really, really come alive. And the 3rd layer can be a wash. You know, it doesn't have to actually be the paint. Oh, blimey. Maybe I have been sitting here for quite a while. So today like first thing I started off with these guys. These guys are actually some miniatures that I gave away on my site to Andy, and then a guy that has been like viewing and also buying a few figures off me. He said, like, you know, would I do an exact set? So I messaged Andy and said, look, you know, did you want to swap the figures that you won? And he was like, oh yeah. So I've actually swapped with him, but he'd swapped a few heads around. So I had to. Oh, we've gone blurry again. Yeah, maybe it's the figures in the background. I had to repaint some heads. So I did that. I did that first thing today. So they're ready to go. Also, this Indian fella here, I needed to once again, I think those figures in the background are making it so hard to see. This is for the same guy. This one-off miniature. Like I'll just do it for you for free. And I actually really enjoyed painting them. But I'd painted sorry, stop the camera. I painted this part of the rifle the wrong colour. I painted it in metal. So we just sent all the things saying, can you just change that? So I've got that done. So yeah, here's actually a fun miniature to paint actually. So the only thing I had to glue on was this arm. I hate gluing. So those figures will head off to their new home come Monday. And yeah. So while I can't be bothered painting those anymore, that part of the day, I might just do a bit of a dry brush on some French. Just for now, I'll put the autofocus on. What I find with the autofocus is that once you start moving figures around, it just goes out of focus trying to order. So we just got some light French infantry that I decided to rebase. So that's right. Let's see if I can find the right brush for the job. That one's wet. So hello to the person that's just popped on. So I'm hoping to get we're just doing a dry brush of some English uniform over there, over the dark brown that I put on. I've decided to change the second layer of. I normally do 3 on the basing, but I've never been quite happy with the finish. So I'm just trying using English uniform as the second coat, but and actually just leaving it as that. I mean, I showed that base of the Greeks earlier. Well, even the So where are we? So yeah. So this is the same. Shoot out of it. That's the same technique there. That's finished. So it's just got the two colours there. I actually kind of like it. So yeah. Cheers, mate. That's just my first base of Greeks done. I'm just working on the cavalry as well. So once I've done this, I'll dry brush the second lot of colour on the cav. We've got a lot of those Greeks to do, I tell you. I keep saying that, but I'm looking forward to not painting for other people soon and actually getting some of my own stuff done. Been stacking figures up for a while now. I've probably got about, I don't know, 3,000 odd miniatures that need my attention of my own. So if you're watching this and you go, oh, I'm just wondering, what does he use on his bases? You know, what's the stuff that I've used here? So I have a basing video that you can see on my site, on my channel, of course. So you can go and have a look at that. It shows it right from the start with the polyfiller mix that I use and how where I go from there. So. I'm just using a few more basing materials on my Greeks than I have been. I'm just trying to just improve my basing technique because it's really been something that I have probably not looked at a lot. Running out of room. My whole desk is actually covered in miniatures. This front part has nearly 90 miniatures sitting on here in different process. Once I've just done these few French, we'll clear them back off the desk, make room for the Greek cav. When you do your dry brush over a dark brown, it's not ideal to have it not completely dry yet. So Neil, so what have you been up to lately? What are you painting, or not painting, or collecting, or gaming? Since it's just you and me, shall we chat? We can chat or not chat. clashing. What clan are you in? Since she disappeared. Mark's disappeared just lately. I kind of took a bit of a break from the old Clash, but just starting to get back into it. Right, we need a bigger brush. Need a bigger brush. Yeah, they definitely do, don't they? I've just upgraded and got the blimps. So now I can make four of those sea dreams at a time. What time is it where you are? I don't know if you can see, but that there just starts to bring the base out a bit. No, I haven't. Oh, it's not too bad. Not. Now we have to buy some more paint. Can't run out. What's really entertaining is where I am here, listening to what's happening outside. There's been a huge, big rugby match, end of kind of season final, and it's over. And you can hear people chanting and kind of all excited. So I surmise the local team might have actually won. I'm not sure, but it's just so funny to listen to. Okay, that one. No, it's the wrong time. I normally get on a lot earlier, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get on. So I usually get on in the morning. And so I'd be very surprised if there'll be anyone popping on. I didn't think anyone would pop on. What normally happens if I get on later is that people watch these videos while they're doing stuff. You know, I don't watch it live. And I just thought, wow, I'll just I'll chuck the video going because I'm painting. So I'm going to be doing it whether it's on or not. Yeah, no, it can be very, very quiet at this time. This is probably the latest I've actually done it. And it's Friday night, so the ones that aren't probably in bed are probably out on the town, maybe. Nope, just knocked that off. Right, so that's that colour. Chuck another brush in there. And what we're going to do is find some black, if we can find the black. There we go. Bit of black. Well, I'm saying that not many people hopping on. We've just got another one hopped on. So, g'day, how's it going? Just doing a little bit of base work at the moment. Just going to where the certain rocks are. I just want it to be a different colour, so I'm just going to blacken that back in. In this area, I'm actually going to do the rocks kind of grey. Better to have a darker base underneath that area. So what I'm going for is this here. Focus. Focus. Yeah, so going for that. Just with a rocks. It's like almost like a bit of a dry riverbed kind of area. So that's why I'm blackening in the other area. Like that. I'm going to do all my Greek army with the same kind of feel to it. As I was saying earlier, I spend a lot of time on the miniatures. But I've probably neglected the bases a bit. So I think I need to buy some more basing material. Actually put a bit of work into the bases. I think. No, I'm probably not going to be on too long. I'll let this dry. If you don't let the paint dry, the grass will end up sticking where I don't want it to. I mean, it won't stick, but some of it will go and I take a bit more care, get rid of it. I'll just probably leave it soon. I'll probably change the rocks so they're actually, oh, just drop my brush. Actually start painting a few of them grey. Next. I must admit, I wasn't actually going to hop on at one stage because I paint slower when I'm online than when I'm not. And, kind of wanted to get a bit done, but you know, just damn it. Jeff, jump on. Okay. That's pretty much that. So, what I might do is rather than keep turning behind me, is put these over here. Right, so what I need is a drop of that, which is, I think, London grey. And then we'll put a drop of sky grey. And then we'll put a drop of white. In between those greys, we'll just do a little bit of work. In those colours. Right. So we'll start with, you know, I'm using the brush that had the black on. We'll just work away at it. As I said, this is the London grey first. What you got to be careful of on these passes that you don't paint down. Like before, I was coming down like that. You want to more like draw your brush across because you want to leave the dark and black areas in underneath what you're doing now. So you get the different contrasts across. I got too many miniatures sitting on my table. Well, I don't always paint my rocks and things in grey. It's just that I decided I would on this one. If you want to ask any questions, if you're online at the moment, ask away. So these figures that I've actually that I'm working on, these are my Greek Vitrix that I did some tutorials on how I painted the horses and different things. A while there, I wasn't sure that I was going to actually base these until I'd actually finished the whole army, but changed them. Right. So now we'll go back. I might just change to another brush. And let's go lighter. So now we've got some sky grey. It'll be a bit more lighter. Go over it. Roll it around a bit on there. You put your paint on your brush, and then you get rid of most of it. It's starting to cool down out there. I'm sorry for you guys out in all that heat overseas. Probably, I don't know, we're down to about 2 or 3 degrees here at the moment. Our high today was, well, supposedly a massive 14, but I don't know if it actually got there. Everything's in the road. Actually, on this angle, I can see a little bit of white base coat. I need to get in there. A bit of black. The polygon. Right, back to it. A little bit of white. Too much on the brush. And you put little stones on there, and then you repaint them. I don't. These are actually mine, my figures. I don't really sell a lot of my stuff online anymore. My eyesight's not as good as it actually used to be, so I've come to the conclusion that I need to stop selling my stuff before my eyesight gets to a stage where I can't do this anymore. Yeah, you can see the get them. It's hard to get them in the right. You can start to see how the basing works. I mean, if you wanted to, you could leave it there, and just like a muddy, dirty kind of look. Yeah, and that is it's my basing done, like pre grass. So it's just polyfiller. Yep, you can do that. Like in this area here, there's a bit of a hollow. You could put in there, and you could use what's the stuff here once you've done it. Like the letter missing up there, but it's the little technical color, and you can make it like a water, like a glossy water. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I've not really ever done a heck of a lot of put a heck of a lot of work into my basing. I've been a bit slack, so but yeah. So if we turn it sideways and refocus, the old leopard skin. Really happy with how the leopard skins came out. Yeah, so that's light Greek cavalry by Vitrix, and I really like them. So that's the basing done up to where the grass goes on. We've got 4 of those bases done, and we're going to leave those ones up there. I'm just going to have a look and see what we're going to do on these guys. Some buckles to do on them. Dum, 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 dum. Well, I've got the sky grey out, even though this is like probably the last thing I'll do today. Water in there. I don't normally do single figures at a time. I wait until I these are the next figures really that I'm working on. I've done a test figure, 2 test figures. First one wasn't quite right and was asked to make some changes, so I made those changes. I just painted the wrong bit, but it's right because it's brown over top. Cross belts need to be a bright white, while the rest is going to be ivory. So Manchai, see if we can focus them. There. So these guys are called Lippy. Lippy. Well, I just tuned it off. I tried to focus. And you might go, he's ugly. But he will turn out like that. Let me just go back. So they actually kind of turn out quite cool. So yeah, 32 of them to do. I haven't done the back of them. Back, that's a bit more done on that one. They have different coloured pants, browns and all kinds of things. I'll just finish off there. There. It's just about time for me to go have some dinner. What I might do before I do that, as I always seem to do, is something else. Is I might put a second coat on this pen if I can find the right brush. Brushes. Um, But out of focus, isn't it? So I think I'll do 3 or 4 different types of pants on these guys. Still not focusing well. Sorry about this, guys. G'day, Dan. Hey, I'm glad that my videos can be of some help. If you ever if there's ever something that you want help with, you know, like a particular thing, make sure you leave a comment, because I do read the comments, and I'll do my best to actually make a video or do a live stream on that topic. Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks, Dan. So the thing is, everyone's at different stages, and I'm learning off some of the guys on there. I tell you, you know, there's a couple of guys that I've been chatting with. How do you say it? It's like Luciano or something, and his painting is so good. And I'm thinking, I want to be better. Time to spend some time actually getting way better at this. And for some reason, I just keep going out of focus terribly tonight. Sorry about that. So, see? Yeah, I know. So that is the second coat of brown. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do a wash over that and then paint the same colour in again, or whether I will do a I don't know what's a colour. Not the bestial brown's the old version of the colour. I've got another one of it somewhere sitting up there. Morphag brown. I could do Morphag brown over that as a highlight, but yeah. Not sure, not sure. Righty, how are we going on this? It's too late at night for me to do all the little gold detail in here. So I won't be doing that today. Oh, guess you crazy machine. I don't have quite that much trouble. But what we could do is we could do a little bit of work on the drummer. So I'm going to still going to work first, I think, with the dark Prussian. Let's make sure that oh, I might have a little bit of dark Prussian that's still wet in the tray. Not sure if this brush is probably the best brush to be in. Okay. Not easy painting on video because you paint a longer extension of where you hold the brush, because otherwise you paint with your hand in the road. When I first started doing it, oh, it was terrible, it was shocking. Start. The old drummer has obviously a blue drum. So what I'm going to do is the uniform is done with dark Prussian blue first, then a reflex blue over top, and to make the drum stand out just that little bit more, I'm going to do the second colour as just straight Prussian blue, and then we might mix a little bit of white into that Prussian blue, and paint the third highlight. As I said earlier, for me, I find that I can be painting a figure and it looks horrible. But to me, it looks horrible until that third highlight is on. And sometimes I think that I've made a complete disaster of it, and that it's almost like unfixable. Starting from scratch, and then you put that third coat on, and you go, oh, okay, it's about after all. So some of these, because these are Swedish, some of these guys are going to have blonde hair, which I do with English brown first, and then dark sand is the highlight. You can wash it with Agrax and then do the dark sand again, or you can just leave it at the point of the dark sand. Now we need another brown. I think I might. I don't use this colour very often, but I'm going to do a little bit of burnt umber. I'm pouring out. Right, so what I'm going to do is on here, I'm going to paint the whole thing. I'm going to do a highlight over top of that. That's why I'm painting the whole thing out. Right, I've got a few of these today. Got 32 of them to be exact. Actually, 31. Because one of them doesn't have one. I'm sure I used up all the ones provided. So I'll probably use maybe, so this is burnt umber. I'll probably use something like maybe use filled drab on as a highlight. I won't be doing that tonight. It's after this, even though I could paint for another 3 hours if I want to. It's actually getting really cold out here. The temperature is dropping drastically. I haven't got the fire going in the house yet, so I'm going to get that going. And I might try and find a good movie, maybe a good war movie. I don't pick my wife up from work until 9 o'clock. I just sent one flying, but luckily he's fine. Doesn't happen very often, thank goodness. Ooh, let's get rid of that one. Right. Some of these guys, they've got to have detail painted in on the cap. I think that's the problem. Is I'm probably a little bit close there, aren't I? There is where it's probably right in there. It's almost like out of picture. Remove those. Get the ones that aren't done. I apologise if I've had a bit out of focus today. I've had a bit of fun trying to get all that done, get sorted. What happens when you've had a couple of weeks off? You get out of the routine of where all the settings are. And when we did my son's wedding, we changed some of the settings in the actual camera. Live video. Right, we're just about done. Got one more to do. Right, so what have we got left to do on these guys, which I'm obviously not doing right now? We've got gold belt buckles, gold bit around the belt here, and the hair to do, which will do blonde, black, and brown here. So I might get onto those tomorrow, and then I'll finish basing doing the French bases tomorrow, and whether I get back to my Greeks, I don't know. But if you're watching this video, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, hey, how about subscribing? This lets me know that you guys are out there and that you care. I know a lot of you guys, you don't necessarily comment, but you do watch my videos, and I still appreciate that, eh? So, and I'll say it again, if there is anything that you would like me to do something on, a tutorial, or just work through some stuff to help you guys, let me know. It's part of what I want to do with my channel. So take care, and leave a message. See you later, guys.